Could you explain a little bit about who you are and what you do?
My name's Megan and I work for First Point Photography as a social media expert, and I also teach photography and Photoshop.
And how long have you worked here?
For about 2 years. I started just after I left uni.
What did you do at uni?
I did digital media.
What is one of your best or favourite projects that you've worked on?
So this one time we had a shoot. This lady came in for a bump shoot and she brought her dog, and her dog's like a Labradoodle, but it was like a puppy, so he was like really excited and he loved me, absolutely loved me. And I just loved it because we got like the beanbag out, she was like laid on the beanbag, and we just got shots of him like looking at the bump and everything like that. It was just great, loved it.
Why do you think that work experience is so important when you're starting out in the industry?
I think it's important because obviously you're getting to know kind of the environment that you're probably going to work in. If you're going to work for a company, for example, you kind of need to know the ins and outs of how a business works and how it runs. You know, especially from working in a photography studio like this, it's quite hectic at times. For example, we've got to do the shoots and edit them, make sure that they're online at a certain time. And I think that by having the work experience, you're just able to gain that kind of like industry experience before you're able to go in like for a paid job or whatever.
And what's some of the main advantages while working for a company?
So some of the advantages I think is because obviously you're always doing photo shoots, so you're always meeting new people, and at times, you know, sometimes you'll get like the odd funny person, but you always get quite nice people that come in and they're always quite friendly and they're always trying to interact with you. I think another advantage for it is that it's quite like a fast environment sort of thing, so you're always on your feet, you're always doing something, you never really get the chance to be bored, which I think is actually quite an important thing. When you're working.
Going back to when you mentioned meeting new people, can you elaborate more on how important it is to network?
I think it's definitely quite important to network with people because then you're able to meet other people in the industry and you're able to then, you know, work with them on other projects and different things like that, which is then going to help you to gain more experience in a different environment. For example, they may want you to do like a location shoot, but if you're always doing studio shoots, then you're not going to have that experience, but you would if you started networking.
What are some of the disadvantages you found whilst working for a company?
I mean, you get disadvantages with working with everything, but I've found that working here, that I don't really get a lot of free time to myself because I'm constantly trying to do new things, learning new skills. I'm always wanting to go out and do different photo shoots, and because it's such a, you know, photography is quite an important thing, I think anyway, and a lot of people and your clients, they, you know, there's specific times when they're free and they're not, and you need to work around them to obviously make a good name for yourself. So that's when, again, it's going to be a disadvantage because you're going to have to kind of push your lifestyle around to suit your clients.
What advice would you give to someone that's starting out in the industry?
Some advice would be to, obviously, if you are going to a job interview for a photography studio or anywhere, is obviously to make sure that you have read up on the company, you know about them and everything like that. And one thing that my boss always says to me is when we have like people coming in for job interviews is that he always looks for whether they know their F numbers, their ISO, and their, you know, all the different things like that. So I think that if, especially from like a photography point of view, that's definitely important for you to know.
And is there anything you would say to yourself if you were to go back when you were first starting out?
If I was to go back, there'd be a lot that I would say to myself. One would definitely be to kind of make sure that one thing that I didn't do was read up on the company. But when I actually got the call for the job, I actually forgot that I had applied to it. So don't do that.
And what are some of the main qualities you think that you would need working as a photographer or within a company?
I think a good sense of humour is definitely very important. You know, we always joke around with the clients all the time, and you need to be friendly and really nice.
Okay, well thank you so much for having me in your studio and letting me hear some of the things you have to say.
Thank you for having me.